There are countless beautiful destinations to visit around the world. But some places are either too dangerous, too protected, or too mysterious to explore. Several locations across the globe, from man-made buildings and structures to natural habitats that contain dangerous species, religious mysteries, and secrets, make these areas forbidden to outsiders. Here are 9 places on Earth which are forbidden, and you are not allowed to visit. Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Halfway between the Norway and North Pole lies the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Svalbard Global Seed Vault is the largest backup facility for the world's crop diversity. Here, duplicates of seeds stored in gene banks are kept for long-term storage to contribute to securing the world's food supply. Norgen is responsible for operating the seed vault in cooperation with the Norwegian Ministry of Food and Agriculture and the international organization Crop Trust. Globally, there are about 1,700 gene banks which, just as Norgen, work to conserve and promote the sustainable use of plant genetic resources important for our food and agriculture. But wars, conflicts, climate change and certain political decisions leads to risks for the gene banks, which see an increasing need for securing their seed collections in more than one place. Poveglia, Italy. Poveglia is a small island located between Venice and Lido in northern Italy. The tiny island is said to have hosted over 160,000 infected souls living out their final days and hours there, so many that there are whispers that 50% of the soil consists of human remains. The island became a quarantine colony in the 14th century for those suffering the plague and other diseases, and in 19th century became a mental hospital. Local legend says that one doctor at the hospital tortured and killed many of his patients. Today, the island is believed to be haunted, attracting the attention of ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. Tourists and locals are banned from visiting unless you want to undergo a lengthy paperwork process. It is considered as most haunted place in Italy. Mirny Diamond Mine, Russia. One of the largest man-made excavated holes in the world is found in Mirny Diamond Mine. The enormous pin is located in eastern Siberia and is the second largest man-made hole in the world. At the time when it was closing in 2004, the mine was 525 meters deep and 1,200 meters across, making it the second largest excavated hole in the world. The hole is so big that airspace above the mine is closed for the helicopter because of the incident in the downward airflow. During the peak years, the mine produces more than 10 billion carats of diamonds annually. The town is strictly off-limit to outsiders though. Snake Island, Brazil. Almost 93 miles away from downtown Sao Paulo is Ilha d'Água Mata Grande, also known as Snake Island. About 25 miles off the coast of Brazil, there is an island where no local would ever dare tread. The island is untouched by human developers for a very good reason. Researchers estimate that on the island live between 1 and 5 snakes per square meter. Legend has it that the last fisherman who strayed too close to its shores was found days later adrift in his own boat, lifeless in a pool of blood. The danger on the island comes in the form of the golden lancehead snakes, a species of pit viper, and one of the deadliest serpents in the world. It is estimated that there are 2,000 to 4,000 snakes on the island, which unsurprisingly is known as Snake Island. Snake Island is uninhabited now. The Navy periodically visits the lighthouse for upkeep and makes sure no adventurers are wandering too close to the island. Bohemian Grove, California, USA. In mid-July each year, some of the richest and most powerful men the world gather in a 2,700-acre campground in Monte Rio, California for 2 weeks for heavy drinking, super-secret talks. The Bohemian Clubs includes prominent business leaders, government officials, former US presidents, artists and musicians are told that weaving spiders come not here, which implies that outside concerns and business deals, networking, are to be left outside. The Grove is particularly famous for a Manhattan Project planning meeting that took place there in September 1942, which subsequently led to the creation of atomic bomb. According to rumors, the only way to join the Bohemian Club is to be invited by the members or join on the waiting list decade long. It was also a $25,000 initiation fee, along with the yearly dues. Fort Knox, USA. Fort Knox is a United States Army post in Kentucky, south of Louisville and north of Elizabethtown. It is adjacent to the United States Bullion Depository, which is used to house a large portion of the United States official gold reserves. The 109,000-acre base covers parts of Bullitt, Hardin, and Meade counties. It currently holds the Army Human Resources Center of Excellence to include the Army Human Resources Command. It is named in honor of Henry Knox, Chief of Artillery in the American Revolutionary War and first United States Secretary of War. The United States Bullion Depository, often known as Fort Knox, is a fortified vault building located next to the United States Army post of Fort Knox, Kentucky. It is operated by the United States Department of the Treasury. The vault is used to store a large portion of the United States gold reserves, as well as other precious items belonging to or in custody of the federal government. It currently holds roughly 147 million troy ounces, 4,580 metric tons of gold bullion, over half of the Treasury's stored gold. The United States Mint Police protects the depository. North Sentinel Island. The death of an American tourist who illegally visited the isolated North Sentinel Island had drawn the world's attention to the small island's reclusive inhabitants. They are one of the few mostly uncontacted groups left in the world, and they owe that isolation partly to geography. North Sentinel is a small island, off the main shipping routes, surrounded by a shallow reef with no natural harbors, partly to protective laws enforced by the Indian government, and partly to their own fierce defense of their home and their privacy. But they are not entirely uncontacted. Over the last 200 years, outsiders have visited the island several times, and it often ended badly for both sides. The real no-go zone of France. When you imagine France and its scenic countryside, you might think of the picturesque villages, vineyards aplenty and endless rolling green hills to drive through on a blissful summer road trip. But there's one corner of this scenic country that no one has been allowed to enter for nearly a century, known as the Zone Rouge. The Zone Rouge, or Red Zone, is a no-man's land in northeastern France that was so damaged by the fighting of World War I. It was deemed unfit for human habitation. Before World War I, Ferjum was mainly a farmland. The area quickly changed after the unimaginable intensity of the shelling along the Western Front left swaths of agricultural land completely obliterated, churned up into a nightmarish landscape of craters and bodies. The war ended in 1918 and left the villages into casualties of war. Unable to keep up with the impossible task of removing endless undetonated weapons, human and animal remains. The French government decided on a forced relocation of residents, which led to the creation of the Zone Rouge. Entire villages wiped off the map were considered casualties of war. Within the no-go zone are many ghost villages that were left abandoned after the war, deemed beyond repair. Heard Island, Australia. Australia's tallest mountain with its active volcano is one of the country's best-kept secrets and holds clues to understanding the Earth's past and its future. Even if you could get to Australia's most remote island, chances are you still wouldn't quite see it. The little-known landmass, Heard Island, hides in dense cloud for around 360 days a year. The rare few who do reach this distant wonder are more likely to hear the gurgle of molten rock bubbling up through the island's violent core. The active volcano on Heard Island, known as Big Ben, is adorned with vast glaciers stretching to the crashing waves of the ocean far below. At a soaring 2,745 meters, it is 517 meters taller than Mount Kosciuszko, giving it the little-known title of the tallest mountain in Australian-owned territory excluding Antarctica.